Huru brother, welcome to Huru Africa TV. This is Abuy Nfubea, your guest and friends. And today we will talk on a special topic, Tupac Shakur. Today my friends and comrade and mentor, Professor Akinjelo Moja, remember us that Tupac birthday is today, 47 years old. As Tupac coming to us. Yeah, who is Tupac? How we gather his movement must to understand Tupac. We must not to understand Tupac in the way that mainstream hip hop culture, the so-called hip hop culture, understand Tupac. We must to understand Tupac in the way of Malcolm X traditions, in the way of Hippie Newton tradition, Femi Shakur, Mutulu Shakur, Sundiata Koli, and people like the Sunni Ali brothers. This was the context of we must to see Brother Tupac in the history, and not only in the political or social history, but in the cultural and the artistic history that the hip hop emerged in the 80s with Africa Bambaataa, with people like Schoolie D, people like Public Enemy, people like Randy MC, people like Sister Shoya, people like this, and the most important influence to understand Tupac is Julius Scott Heron. So Julius Scott Heron, Rob Brown, Kwame Ture, and many of the sisters like Kathleen Cleaver. That's what we must to understand Tupac. This is Tupac really environment context, in the understanding context. This is what the Tupac, we must to understand Tupac, not in the so-called hip hop gangster rap. We say in Spanish, soy el más del más. We don't see this bullshit when we talk on Tupac. Tupac is not this. Tupac is coming from the political prisoners, like people like the most famous political prisoner we know is Mumia Abu Jamal. But when we think about Mumia, we think about Femi Shakur, we think about Tupac. So we think about Mutulu Shakur. So people like Republic of New Africa, people like Kumali Gesitela, like African People's Socialist Party, people like Aminata Umoja from Kilombo School in Atlanta, Georgia. This is Tupac history, the Malcolm X grassroots movement. This is the history of Tupac. So today, the hip hop reality changed. Right here in Spain, we have 3 or 4 programs, radio show programs, and then the national radio broadcast on hip hop. But you never listen anything about the black suffers, the African schoolboys, reparations, the Parisian studies, the all these movements that people like Tupac fight for reparation of African states. Today, hip hop is totally separate from the mass of the African people, the mass of the people who see the revolution, change the reality. So to understand Tupac, you must see Tupac in this first way, what we call. In the first way, we have to see Tupac the way that artists, how one of the best artists in history. And when we see Bob Marley, when we see Tracy Chapman, we see people like Victor Hara, Fela Kuti, people like women like Sister. One of the best sister we have in the history of the music. He's in the soul, in the radio, in the R&B, in Makossa, and all these cities. And this is the tradition Tupac. Artists who are make that what Michael Cabral said, sincere revolutionary. revolutionary suicide. When Tupac said "Me Against the War," or when Huey P. Newton said "revolutionary suicide," it's the same context. You know, the Jamaica Cabral bring it with the Mali Yesitala understanding and the Tupac understanding and the Huey P. Newton understanding the same context, that the artist to make part of the masses of the people. You know, artists who don't play just jazz, hip hop because media, the white folks want to use them like tools, like monos de feria, we say in Spanish. You understand? So they are part of a tradition of the people. So when Tupac came in the history, and he broke 3 generations. So we must understand these 3 generations. And the 60s generations, the Black Power movement, the 70s generations, the Marvin Gaye, and people like, you know, Barry White, and those disco music, and the 80s, and Tupac bring from 80s with the African Mambata and Soul Sonny Force, and, you know, Grandmaster Flash, all these people who started in the hip hop in that time, so with the beginning, we said at the beginning of the hip hop. But the Tupac brings in the 4th level with the era, with the Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Brother Mike, Professor Griff. They develop a new context of the hip hop in the revolutionary context. And when the Schoolie D developed hip hop in the 80s, like with his records, don't call me Negro, or I'm not black now for you, or all these concepts when the Tupac tried to represent this 4th generation in the same context, in the context of a Million Man March in calling by Farrakhan, or the context of reparation movement, of the context of Uhuru movement under the leadership of the chairman Mali Yesitela of the Republic of New Africa, with one of the great men who we know is Chekwe Lumumba. So this is my tribute to brother Tupac, and in the context of the hip hop brothers who sister hip hop brothers and sisters like Desperate, who took this flag for Tupac, and they put the flag up, and they put the Marcus Garvey flag up, and they put the music there, and they put all the sounds of the history on the passion of what Tupac represents. And Tupac never was a gangster rap. Tupac is not gangster rap. Tupac is what the Huey P. Newton calls illegal capitalists. That was Huey P. Newton called illegal capitalists in his biography, and he said revolutionary suicide. And Huey explained clear what kind of mentality those people that we call in Spanish cimarrones, they call in English maroons, and the Tupac was a maroon. It was a cimarrones. Gangster rap is neocolonist music, or neocolonist impact, or neocolonic pulse, or neocolonic cultures that want to keep hip hop movement and as a culture. In the first Congress of the Pan-African Movement in Spain, held in 2001 in Barcelona, under the leadership of Brother Ras Babi, we said that the hip hop is not a culture. Hip hop is not a culture. The culture is the black culture. The culture is Pan-African. The culture is African culture. The culture is Kemetic culture. Hip hop is the manifestation of this culture. It's another kind of manifestation, like jazz, like reggae, like salsa, merengue, bachata. Hip hop is like this. The real culture is the culture for survival, as the Bob Marley says, survival, and the culture for the black revolutions, black freedom. This is the culture. Tupac, hip hop is the manifestation of this culture. You know, like we have right now, reggaeton is another manifestation, but hip hop is not a culture. And Tupac is not a gangster rap, he's a hero of this struggle. Uhuru brothers, this is Nfubea. I'd like to see you on Uhuru Africa TV. Go to the channel, you give Uhuru Africa TV, you follow us. For the next week, we will talk about another great artists, another great women who make the history, you know, the great women who bring in the history of the struggle of apartheid and see link with Kwame Ture's Tokalkat Michael, Uhuru, Tupac.
Ya está.